We'll try not to like too much talk over each other, but again, we are girls and we are
Agree to disagree.
like,
Okay, moving on.
well, the makeup bottle. It's like a cracked out T-bird, some grease.
Yeah, I can
You
see
know,
that.
she's got that black hair.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to ChickChat. It is November. We have officially entered the holiday season. And Jeanette, are you decking the halls? Is it time yet?
No, it's not time. We don't do it till like the week before Christmas. 2 weeks before Christmas, maybe 2 weeks.
2 weeks before Christmas?
Mom was a little slow on this stuff. Well, we'll put the tree. Yeah. Yeah. I'm a little slow with it. I'm going to try to do better this year, though.
I don't know how your daughter lets you get away with that. Like my kids, essentially, yesterday, were off school for Veterans Day, and they had me write up a list of chores that needed to be done in order for them to be able to decorate the house for Christmas. So now,
I think
well,
we'll probably
my
get
house
going
my
on
house
this
is spick and span now, is what I'm trying to get to.
Well-
My house is spick and span and decorated for Christmas. You know,
I can't do Christmas before Thanksgiving. That's just
well, okay. We typically do not put up Christmas decor until the weekend after Thanksgiving.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, same.
So that's always our deal. The kids know it. However, this year we are traveling for Thanksgiving. So we lose essentially our weekend after Thanksgiving that we have set aside, usually just to be at home, chill out, decorate, right? And being that we won't be home until the Sunday after Thanksgiving, and then school starts back, right? Monday.
Yeah.
During the week's hard. Like daily event. I mean, we can't just, my kids don't like to start it and not finish it. So long story boring. We basically got a clean house yesterday and then a decorated house last night. We did say they're not allowed to put anything on the outside yet because holiday lights on the outside don't go up until like after Thanksgiving. So I have pumpkins on the porch, Christmas on the inside. It's like
Nice.
It's like the holiday mullet.
Well, I will probably do something the first week, try to do something the first week of December, because my daughter has soccer out of town. So we'll be gone the weekend after. And then, with crazy shopping and stuff. So I'll try to get it done ahead of time this year. Last year we were a little slow, but we'll get it done. To me, to my daughter, she's like, just make sure the Christmas gifts are under the tree.
Yeah, she's like, I don't care where they come.
Right. If it's a tabletop, if it's a real tree, if it's a fake tree, I don't care.
Fair enough.
Make
Fair
sure
enough.
I have something to open.
Excellent.
And my son is just like, I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, he's still little enough that whatever. It's like you could give him a piece of
He's gonna be
Tupperware,
like,
right?
Why is there a tree in the house?
Understood.
That'll
Understood.
be our thing.
Good.
That's what our Christmas has changed last year. Because last year he was at that age where he could get his hands on things. So we have where you have the mullet decorations with Halloween and fall on the outside and Christmas on the inside. We have the tree version of that with ornaments only go in the top half of the tree, on the bottom, and gifts don't come out until the kids are in bed Christmas Eve.
Fair enough.
So
Fair enough.
looks very strange. And my daughter is still insistent on putting all the gifts, all the ornaments on the tree, all the ones they've made, all the ones we collected, we've inherited. So it's like this massive, just half of a tree, no space except ornaments, and then nothing.
I love it. I love it. It's character. We have a family ornament tree as well. Like I don't have like a theme fancy tree. We just throw everything on there that we've ever received anything for. And this year, because my parents recently moved out of my childhood home, my parents have sent me a whole bunch of boxes cross country of stuff that was mine from the house. And one was kind of filled with all of my Christmas things that were maybe like ornaments that had my name on it or all that stuff. So we have extra Christmas this year. But anyway, it is mid-November. We're getting into it. Whichever holiday people are celebrating and whenever they celebrate it, I'm excited for this time of year. Everybody just seems to be in a better mood. You know, it's the most wonderful time of year, right?
That's what they say.
That's what they say. Well, I wanted to start off. I have several things to go over on the show today because there is definitely some entertainment and girly, chicky type stuff to discuss. However, I have a story to share first. And this is hot off the press. This just happened. Okay. It's probably way more exciting for me than it is for anybody else. However, this morning, about an hour ago, I had my annual doctor's visit. We all know the doctor's visit, right? Like it was that time of year. So I had to go for my annual doctor's visit. Now, being that I'm still relatively new here, I don't know this doctor very well. You know, I've only seen her one other time. Basically, before we moved, I went and did all of my doctor's appointments, all the kids' doctor's appointments, because I didn't know whenever we moved out here how quickly I would get in with doctors, right? So we were caught up when we moved out here. So we were here almost a year before I had to find a new doctor, and it was time for the checkup. So this is my second time seeing her. She's very nice, really, really pleasant, but I don't know much about her. Today I learned something, and now she's like amazing to me. I was being examined, if you will, violated and examined. And she was asking if my kids were excited about the holidays. And I told her the story of how we bribed them with a big long list of chores if they wanted to decorate early, and that it worked. And now we have a Christmas tree up. And she was like, oh, no judgment. We've had our tree up for like a week. I was like, oh, wow. Okay. She's like, well, that's our first tree. It's our fake tree. I said, gotcha. She said, we have to go get another one because we have to every year have a couple real trees in the house. She's like, because my husband grew up on a Christmas tree farm. And I was like, oh, well, that's fun. She was like, yeah. She was like, so his family, you know, it's been in his family for ages, and he grew up on the farm, then worked on the farm all, you know, his life. So he makes us kind of go chop 2 trees, bring them home. And I jokingly said, oh, it's like a Hallmark movie, right?
Yeah, that was the first thing I thought.
Right. And she kind of paused and she looked at her assistant, the nurse, and the nurse starts giggling and rolls her eyes. And I was like, what? And she said, it's just that, yeah, pretty much like a Hallmark movie. It happened that way. And I was like, wait, do tell. She said she was in med school, and she and her girlfriends were going on a wine tasting trip, and saw, as they were driving through the countryside of Oregon, a sign for apple cider being sold at this little hole-in-the-wall farm in the middle of nowhere. So they all thought this was fantastic. They're in a limousine as they're driving this tour, right? They stop, they go in to get cider, and there's like a mom and a dad, like grandparent looking couple running the little store. There's a Christmas tree farm out there, and there's a guy lugging Christmas trees in plaid flannel, like outside. She said, all but rolled his eyes at the group because they were all these girly, prissy med school students coming in to buy cider. And they were taking pictures and posing and stuff. And he just was like, these people. And they go in, they do a cider tasting or whatever she was saying, like they let them try out different ones. They end up chatting conversation with the parents. The mom makes some joke about her single son and how if anybody would want to live on a Christmas tree farm, she knows just the right guy. The son comes in and is like burly and embarrassed or whatnot. And one of her friends gives the mom the doctor's number without her knowing it. The mom contacts her days after they've been there and introduce her to her son. The son says, no, thank you. Like, I'm not being set up by my mom, by some prissy girl that hopped out of a limousine to come to our Christmas tree farm. And basically ignored each other back and forth, a couple of texts, a couple of phone calls for like 6 months before they finally just said, fine, we'll meet up, have dinner, whatever. And now she's married to a Christmas tree conglomerate.
What?
She's got the true Hallmark story. The med school student in a limousine that stops to take pictures for Instagram and, buy cider because they thought it was quaint and cute, ends up marrying the burly single Christmas tree farm son.
So this actually happened.
100%. She's like, yeah, it's strange. She's like, I get it. Like, it's weird. She's like, but yeah, everybody like jokes about it. Everybody jokes like, big city girl marries the Christmas tree farm boy. Like, couldn't have made it up. And I'm just sitting there like my jaw's on the floor because I'm just enthralled by her story. I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is real. Like, really? Have you contacted Hallmark? Have you guys I couldn't.
Which movie is about you?
I know. So it was just funny. It was the highlight of my day, considering, like I said, I was being violated as she's telling me this. But it was just the perfect thing I needed to kick off my holiday season and ChickChat with you.
Yes.
I mean, it was so perfect.
Perfect way to kick it off.
I walked out into the parking lot and texted you. I was like, oh my God, I have a story to tell you, because I was like, who else would understand this? I mean, I literally came home and tried to tell my husband, and he was like, cool story, but I'm like, no, you don't understand.
Like, listen, you're telling me this, and I have the movie playing in my head as you're telling me, like, oh.
Right. I already figure I know what this guy looks like, right? Like, I've never seen him. I've never seen the picture.
Yeah, I know what he looks like. I know what he looks like.
Totally know what he looks like. I know.
And I know what his parents look like too, so it's fine.
100%.
And what your doctor looks like, and I haven't even seen her, so it's all here. Don't ruin it for me. Don't tell me, because it's all right here.
Yep. I mean, I love her now. I love her. I will never leave her. Like, she, I'm hoping to get on like her Christmas card list. I'm hoping to work my way into maybe a holiday party scene or something. But I have a mission to get more involved in my doctor's life so that I can be a part of this.
You have to.
Yeah.
So you have to.
Oh, it was overwhelming. It was exciting for the day. It really was. Made my doctor's visit well worth it.
My doctors aren't that exciting. I'm gonna have to probe into their life a little more, because I don't know. They might be.
You never know, right? Now we just here it is. Now you never know. But everyone's got a story, and mine just happens to be a Hallmark one. It's awesome. All right, so let's get started. We do have several things to discuss. And none of these are like breaking news, but I would like to get your opinion on some of them because, we are good at giving our opinions and judging people that we have no connection with whatsoever. So
Yeah.
today I'd like to be a little judgy on a couple of things. Okay. First of all, I'd like to discuss Travis Scott and the tragedy that took place recently. Just to give everybody a recap, the latest update is now that at least 9 people have died after a mass casualty event at Travis Scott's Astro World Festival in Houston. The people that have passed away were ranging in age from 14 to 27. The crowd began to compress towards the front of the stage, and it caused panic and started causing some major injuries. And then people, as they said in the article, quote, began to fall out, become unconscious, and created additional panic. Now, Travis Scott was arrested in 2017 for allegedly inciting a riot during a concert in Arkansas, and he later pled guilty to disorderly conduct. He faced accusations from festival goers on Saturday who claimed that he continued to perform even after seeing distraught and injured fans in the audience, as well as the ambulance coming through the crowd. Now, after the performance, which also featured Drake, I'm not sure, I guess he was making like a special appearance, but Travis attended a party at Dave & Buster's, and Drake then also made an appearance at the party. They said that neither one were aware of the severity of what had happened, and they found out about it at the party, and then they left right away, meaning they found out about the fatalities. The rapper has vowed to cover funeral expenses for all the victims, and he has shared several emotional videos on Instagram addressing mass casualty incidents, and in which more than 300 people are listed as injured. In addition, he has partnered with BetterHelp to supply free one-on-one online therapy to those in need. At this time, at least 36 lawsuits have been filed against Travis Scott over the incident. And among those is the family of Ezra Blunt, a 9-year-old boy who was nearly crushed to death while attending the show with his father. There are reports of many people still in really bad condition in the hospital. The last report I read said that they are not sure that this fatality number is finished. So, obviously, horrible situation. Terrible, terrible situation. You're going to a concert. You're going to, something they promote as family friendly. His shows have always been maybe a little more on a younger crowd. And you go, you're supposed to be having a good time, and then something like this happens. And not by any means that it would make any difference. Clearly, the Vegas shooting, remember the festival there, right? So, like I said, it doesn't make any difference that person had a gun and was mentally ill, right? This was a different situation. This is causing you not to be able to breathe. I mean, I can't even imagine. Like it scares the daylights out of me to think that this happened at a festival, something that I love doing so much. I love going to concerts. I love going to festivals like that. I love doing this stuff. And that is scary to me. I just want to hear your thoughts on this. Is Travis at fault? Who is at fault? What else is going on? What have you heard? What are your thoughts on this?
Obviously, I don't know legally because I don't have a law background at all. But I guess I just had so many questions, and I haven't seen the venue enough to know, like an aerial view to know what it looked like. But when I hear things like that, I'm like thinking, yes, it was outside, but was it enclosed? Because to me, I've been to festivals where they're outside and not enclosed. And you would think when things like that start happening, people can scatter and spread apart they have space to move. This sounds like that wasn't there because people were climbing on stage and climbing on rafters. So when I think about something like that, I think 50,000 sounds like a lot for an outside area that's enclosed and not tiered like a stadium. Because that's going to happen when you're at a concert, especially when there's no assigned seating. Everyone wants to push ahead, and it's different when you're at a concert. Yes, these things can happen, but you have chairs in the way, you have seats in the way, so it kind of puts that a little layer of protection. Yes, those things can still happen, but you don't usually oversell those things, and you have ushers in each row making sure that people and security. And I know that there was security there. They said there was a lot of security there, but what I have an issue with is it looks like from the video that people are making him aware on stage at some point. He sees people climbing. He sees people being passed and being carried through the crowd, like almost not crowd surfing, but that's the way they're trying to get them out. And he continues to just perform. Mm-hmm. I don't know what his state of mind at that point was, but you would think that someone would come on stage and say, okay, this has to stop. We need to move the gates. Everyone needs to stand still, back up, pick anybody up that's below you. But this has become an issue. The concert will not go on until this is done. Because it sounds like the crowd was trying to get him to do that. It wasn't like this was going to be a situation where the crowd was like, no, keep playing. The crowd was like, no, you have to stop. Like I saw the videos of people yelling, stop the show. And, people died 4 songs ago. And it's almost, I don't know is it the concert? I'm sure he had some hand in planning, but is it the promoters? Is it security who allowed more people in? Because with the other video I saw, before people started rushing the stage, they had these, what I call COVID barriers, but there's those plexiglass barriers up, and people were already trying to push on those before they opened it and said, you can go in. So you knew that something was like, people were just going to have a mad rush towards the stage. I think he has some liability in my view. He's liable at some, this is his show. This is his event that he put on. I'm sure the questions are going to come down to, why were there 50,000 people? Were you permitted to have that many people? Where was the security? Where was the crowd control saying, hey, you've got too many or whatever? Where was all of that? So I don't think he is completely innocent in this. I do think he has some liability. Whether that all falls on him, I think there's going to be several people that it falls on. Yeah. And I saw that Drake's getting sued too. And I don't know, I didn't see Drake on stage, and I know he's probably a guest performer, and he came out later, right? And what he knew and when. But when you see the videos of people like on stage with Travis Scott whispering to him, and then he's shooing them away, it's like,
yeah. Well, and especially, unfortunately, he has a record or a history of encouraging people to storm the stage. He's telling people to come on up here, get up here. We want people to get involved, do this, do that. And it's raging, he's known for that. I didn't really know any of that prior to this. I know Travis Scott as Kylie Kardashian's baby daddy, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But this is, I've seen so many things now, related to this, like people, as you were saying, the whole audience jumping up and saying, like, standing on those security poles, the like ladder looking things where the cameras sit, or the police have those monitor things up there, and people are climbing them, begging to stop the show. We need help, all this stuff. So there's a few things that kind of worry me about this, or about the stories, how they're not really aligning. So I've seen a video, somebody said, well, he couldn't see out in the audience, because the lights are in his eyes. And, I've been to a good many festivals, but I know people that go to festivals understand typically there's always an ambulance on site. You see that. usually over to the side, right? And it's sort of like a medical tent, or they're there in case of emergency. But I've never seen, and I've read reports online from EMTs and stuff that have weighed in and said, if you're driving an ambulance in the middle of a crowd of 50,000 people, something's wrong, like real bad,
Yeah.
And here this ambulance is in the middle of the crowd. That would have been a red flag to me. I think the fact, like you said, people are telling him to stop and he's shooing them away, like it's not a good look. And the reports say that they were telling people that once they realized the severity of it, they cut the show short. Okay. But then they're saying that they go to Dave and Buster's for a party and that they didn't realize the severity of it. But I'm like, but you just said you cut the show short because.
Right. You can't have it both ways.
Right. Like, I'm not sure why you thought, for somebody that's a performer like that to cut the show short, that's a big deal, right? That's losing money. That's, losing what you've paid for, all this stuff. Right. But yet you cut it short because it was that bad. But then he went to Dave and Buster's. Again, not a good look. Kylie was there. She's pregnant.
Oh.
Yes, she was there. And apparently, again, I wasn't there. I don't know. But Kylie was ushered off and taken away because of the imminent danger that was lurking, if you will. They shooed her off and whisked her away in a armored car. So again, if it's that bad that you're being shooed away, just seems like there's some more red flags. Like,
yeah,
I saw a video of Pitbull, the artist Pitbull, up on stage during a concert a couple of years ago, or I don't know, it's fairly recent. And they were showing how somebody came on stage to him and told him something, and he was hearing things in his earpiece, and he stopped his show and he told everybody to back up. He's like, we need people to back up. It's getting too tight. Everybody take these steps forward. I'm not going to continue performing until everybody moves back. And apparently he's not the only one that's ever done that, but this was a video of it. And so everybody kind of kept saying, if there was anybody who had the ability to kind of stop what was going on, it was Travis.
Yeah.
Security standing down front at a concert, we've all done it. We've all tried to get to the front of a show, right? No matter how big or small it is. There's always that row of security guards at the front of the stage. They stand there and they maybe say scoot back a little bit, but it's not exactly, I'm not paying attention to them as much, right? I'm paying attention who's on stage. If Travis were to stop and say, I'm not going to perform anymore until you scoot back, who knows what could have changed. But
yeah.
I personally, I don't know that Travis comes back from this.
It's going to be tough.
Yeah.
If not impossible. I think he's doing what he feels he should be doing.
Sure.
But yeah, and I don't know what that means for Astroworld as a festival moving forward. If they do it, I don't think they do it next year. Maybe they do, but I don't think they do. And if they do, I think it's going to be different somehow. They're not going to be 50,000 people out. And maybe they add days to the show and say, we're going to do back-to-back shows, but it's only going to be 20,000 or 25,000 allowed in per show. Tickets will be sold. And, once we reach capacity, that's it. I don't know. I just haven't never been to that festival, and everyone was excited to get out after COVID and everything and be in that crowd. But I've seen the videos of different performers stopping the show and saying, this is, someone even telling the crowd, if someone falls, what do we do? Pick them up, making them repeat that. Like, we will stop the show. I don't mind stopping the show 10 times if I have to, but we're all going to leave here safe today.
Yeah.
And that's on him as the performer, just
Mm-hmm.
to say, my name's on this. There are people around you. If you see someone around you, pick them up, raise your hand. Let's get them the help they need. We will, if we're able to resume the show after this, we will.
Right.
If not, we're just going to call it a day, and we're
Right.
going to, but no music is coming on until we have everyone who needs help getting help.
Yeah. And, you know, and of course, 100% you should be concerned about the fans and the people in your audience, right? They've paid to be there. That is your responsibility and whatnot. But in a selfish sense, like, stop the show. Like, stop the show, because this is not going to be good for you if something goes wrong, right? So, like I said, be selfish if you wanted to for that reason, whatever. But whatever reason it is, the show should have been stopped well before this whole, we cut it short so we could go to Dave and Buster's too.
Yeah, and I get the light was in his eyes. You can see, look, I've performed before. I've been on stage before, and I know what it's like to have that light in your eyes. They're right. You can't see everything that's going on because the lights are shining, and you can't really see past that. But you can see the first few rows in front of you. You can see the first 50 or so rows in front of you. Depending on how big the stage is and how big the venue is, you can see to a certain point.
Mm-hmm.
And if something in front of you is happening, you have to assume that something in the back is happening as well.
Well,
so, and from what I saw, a lot of it was happening at the front.
Yes.
So where I saw the video, yes, he could have seen that far. It wasn't like he couldn't see any rows. He can see, unless he has these high voltage lights that I've never seen before on stage, you can see to a certain point.
Well, and even if
it's not that dark for him.
Right. And even if we gave him the benefit of the doubt on that and he said, I couldn't see anything. Okay. Well, what about all those people in your ear and people coming up to tell you this? Like, again, it's just not a good look.
Your girlfriend has been sent away. Do you just?
That's right.
I'm like, oh, hey. I mean, it could have been anything.
Yeah.
She could have been like, hold on, I need to find out what's going on.
Yeah.
So
the whole thing is not a good look. Like, I just can't say it enough. I don't know who's responsible. I think it was Live Nation that put it on, was responsible for the concert functions or whatnot. So again, I don't know who's responsible, and, doesn't matter. People have died. It's not good. And it shouldn't have happened, unfortunately. So, obviously, like I said, tragic situation. Hope that lessons can be learned from this, from everybody, any performer, any business putting on festivals, any of that type of stuff. I mean, these are things that you hate to make a lesson of it, but hopefully that comes out of it so that things get better in the future and we can all go and enjoy these things. So, horrible situation, horrible news, but I got to move on because it's ChickChat and we've got some important stuff to talk about. Mainly being, People has announced the sexiest man alive is Paul Rudd.
The man who never ages.
The man who is skin like smooth milk. I love him. I love Paul Rudd. I'm a Paul Rudd fan. I am 100% in support of this. I also have a unique taste in men sometimes. Like, I feel like people that I'm not always attracted to the Hemsworth brand of things or the what's his name, Channing Tatum, that type of look of things. Paul Rudd's way more my cup of tea. Okay. I think he's funny. I think he's got a handsome smile and pretty green eyes, and that charm to him. I have no idea how old he is. Don't care. Doesn't matter. But I adore Paul Rudd. I have for a long time. Even from like Clueless, I was a Paul Rudd fan. So I need your opinion on this. Do you support it? Do you stand behind it? Do you think people made a big mistake?
I'm okay with it. I will say it was unexpected when they released it. But then I started thinking, like, I don't know how they choose the sexiest man alive and what goes into it, but for the past several months, I've been seeing these things about Paul Rudd, like, look, Paul Rudd in the 90s, Paul Rudd today, look, and I'm like, why all this attention on Paul Rudd all of a sudden? And then he's saying sexiest man alive. It was unexpected, but I was like, oh, I get it, I guess. We're just on this Paul Rudd train this year.
Well, Paul Rudd has a new project coming out with Will Ferrell.
Is it the Ghostbuster one? Oh, okay.
No, this is it's a Apple or HBO or Netflix, one of these private like streaming type deals. Movie coming out about with the two of them in it, which not surprising. Things tend to happen with People magazine, knowing some timelines that are out there. But I'm here for it. I support it.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Fine.
I kind of feel like, how this whole thing has been, this is kind of off topic, but kind of weird. You know how lately everybody's been talking all this about Pete Davidson and how in the world does Pete Davidson get these girls? Because he dated like Kate Beckinsale and the girl from Bridgerton and Ariana Grande got a song written about him. And everybody's like, how in the world is Pete Davidson this? So I saw there was a post on Twitter that some celebrity or influencer, whoever it was, wrote, has anyone ever stopped to think that maybe, just maybe, Pete Davidson actually has like a charming personality, right? Kate Beckinsale hearted it, like she liked the tweet. So I'm like, well, maybe that's what it is, right? So do you think there is a world where Pete Davidson becomes sexiest man alive on People magazine?
I don't know. I don't know if he gets the Ben Affleck treatment of J-Lo and Ben Affleck of the 90s or early 2000s, whenever that was. If he ends up like dating Kim Kardashian, I don't know. I get the whole thing with funny guys. Funny guys are attractive. There's something about them that just, you want to be with someone who makes you laugh. It's looking at you all day is one thing, but if you can keep me entertained and, even better. But I wouldn't close the door on it. Maybe he's somebody's cup of tea. I personally know several people who are like, oh, he's attractive. I'm like, I like him on SNL.
Right. He's a nice guy.
He seems like I would like to be his friend. Right. I'd have a good time hanging out with him.
I think we would have fun. Right. I don't know. I'll admit it. There's something there.
There has to be something there.
When he's on like one of those late night talk shows, if he's on Jimmy Fallon or whatever, I love his interviews. I think he's like got this weird sense of humor. It's pretty funny. Of course it comes across on Saturday Night Live, but I don't know. It's just something weird. I don't know. But apparently there's something there that the ladies like. And
I don't know.
But for now, we will not take this honor away from Paul Rudd. I did see some pretty cute celebrities who were reacting to people's announcement. Seth Rogen put no arguments here. Drew Barrymore said, great choice in Paul Rudd. Judd Apatow, who's a close friend of his, said, not going to lie, I've got mixed emotions about this. And Josh Gad, who is, from Frozen, right? Plays, what's his name?
The snowman.
Yes. It says, if I had to lose to someone, I'm happy it's Paul. I think he seems like he's everybody's friend in Hollywood or something, right? And by the way, he's 52, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not mad at it. It's fine. I just wondered where all this Paul Rudd stuff came from all of a sudden. Like, all of a sudden I open everything that's like, look at Paul Rudd. Like, why? I know he has Ghostbusters coming out, but
yes,
I feel like it's been a campaign, and I'm not mad, but I would say it was unexpected when they announced it. I was like, oh, good. But the picture looks very nice.
It was very handsome. And I think a lot of people probably felt like, wait, I don't think there's anybody that's like, this is dumb. Like, why would you pick him? Like, he's clearly nice looking, but he's also just sort of, I don't know many people that have not liked anything he's done or doesn't think he's funny. So I think he's just one of these guys that people are like, yeah, cool. Like, he's a good guy. Like, let's just give him the title. But like you said, the whole fact that he doesn't age and the whole fact that you can't tell how old he is. And when you look back at old movies and new movies and stuff, he's kind of the same. Like,
yeah,
that means he's probably going to be a pretty handsome 75-year-old too. So,
oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just kind of on topic, kind of off. When I looked at the picture, he looked very good in it. So I've already said that he looks good, but I feel like People magazine always uses the same shot for the Sexiest Man Alive, where they have them laying down and then there's this overhead shot of them and they're all kind of looking up, smirking at the camera. Like, is that their go-to cover photo?
I think so. And in fact, Ryan Reynolds, whom I love as well, and I kind of feel fits in the same category as Paul Rudd, right?
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds made a comment saying that they actually used his right arm from his shoot of Sexiest Man Alive. And that when you look at the picture, you see Paul Rudd laying on one arm, and that was Ryan Reynolds' arm. Clearly it's not, but he's like just saying like, yeah, he was kind of alluding to the same thing that you are. Like, they all look alike at this point.
They all look alike. I started here thinking like they've all looked the same.
Yeah. No, I get it. But congratulations to Paul for, I'm sure he's listening, and
Paul
just
wanted
wanted
mom and dad for the genetics. Like, I mean,
hey, 100%. I love it. So good for him, and yay for us for getting in our world. Next, moving on. Did you hear about the new Skims and Fendi launch that happened the other day? No?
The what?
Skims from Kim
Skims.
Kardashian's underwear line.
I saw a picture of Courtney and Megan Fox.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yes. So Kim Kardashian owns a brand called Skims. Okay. Skims is basically, it launched back in September of 2019. It's an undergarment line. So it's like Spanx. It's, but it's like shapewear, right? But it's a brand. So there's a couple of like other things like socks and, jackets or whatever that's under that brand, but it's all started with like shapewear. Okay. So Kim Kardashian West has partnered with Fendi to do a brand collab of Fendi / Skims. And it launched on Tuesday of this week. And it sold out within, I think, and within the first 60 seconds, they sold over $1 million worth of merchandise in the first 60 seconds. Okay. This, they said, is on track to be her most successful anything she's done. I went because I was curious. There's another podcast I listened to where the girls were like trying to get in line to get online waiting room or whatever for the Fendi sale to drop. And they had a bomber jacket, a leather dress, a tights leggings, a bodysuit, and like just a handful of things. It wasn't a big brand of things. It was, it was 20 items or whatever. And just to give you an example, these are supposedly ready to wear items. Okay, it's not the shapewear stuff, but the Fendi collection with Skims has form-fitting dresses and tops that start. The lowest price item is $950. Leggings retail for $1,100. It also features a $2,900 puffer jacket, just in time for winter. And of course, the Skims signature under shapewear and hosiery got Fendi revamp, meaning it has the Fendi printed collaboration logo all over the tights. Like you're walking around with Fendi and Skims printed all over your tights. The highest items were swimsuits and a leather wrap dress that sold for $4,200. And all of this stuff sold out in 60 seconds. Like, unbelievable. Well, it sold out in a couple minutes, but it made over $1 million in 60 seconds. So if you get a chance sometime, go look it up online. Me personally, not a fan. Not quite sure all the, I don't know, maybe it's just because it's not, I don't live in some high fashion world. Maybe that's what it is. Yeah. But I mean, bravo for her, but good gracious, here's another Kardashian coming in and just taking over the world, right? Making all this money. Skims was already valued at $1.6 billion prior to this collaboration. So.
Well, hey, I mean, I would be scared to wear a $2,900 jacket anywhere. I'm not the most, I'm the most forgetful person. I'll be like, if I lost my $2,900 jacket, I'm not just gonna be like, oh, well, like, I'm tearing places apart. Call the police, but I mean, but I know there are people who obviously can afford that and like labels, and they just want the opportunity to say, I own this. And I wouldn't be surprised if somebody bought that and is going to sell it later for more. But
of course,
Christmas, so treat yourself. But hey, yeah, I'd be scared of ordering something like and getting it home. Like, I can't fit this.
No, thank you. I know. Well, and that was another thing. There were all these people online I saw saying things like, gosh, they don't offer returns. I sure hope mine fits. And I'm like, you sure hope it fits? Did you just pay $1,100 for a pair of leggings and you hope they fit? Like,
listen, I can't order jeans online because I don't
exactly. Exactly.
So I'm not ordering anything that I've never, especially a brand I've never worn. I don't know what your size is. I don't know what size I wear and what you're selling.
I don't trust your size chart. I don't care what you give me that. I need to touch. I need to feel. I need to put on. And then I need to be able to put it back on the rack and say, no, thank you. So, bravo to everybody that wants to go out and purchase this, but I think it's insane. And personally, again, I know some people dig it, but I'm just not a fan of the way it looked. I don't care to walk around with Fendi plastered all over my tail. Like, it's just...
I don't go anywhere fancy enough for Fendi. I mean, the soccer fields don't care if I'm wearing Fendi.
This stuff doesn't look like Fendi. The leather dress is fancy. It's pretty, but it is definitely fancy. It's a leather dress, right? But like the bomber jacket and the leggings and the like sports bra looking stuff, bralettes or whatever they call, I'm like, that's not fancy stuff. That's just, I'm going to have my picture taken stuff though when I'm walking on the street because I'm a celebrity.
Yeah.
So nonetheless, interesting collaboration. Congratulations to Kim, but crazy the way things are working right now with that. Where this is all going, I'm not too sure. Okay, time for my favorite story to tell you. Sort of favorite, sort of not. Did you hear that the Queen will be weighing everyone after Christmas dinner.
Oh,
I'm a little
Why?
upset. I'm a little upset. Okay, because I didn't know this, but apparently this is a tradition that happens when they go for holiday at Sandringham, up in Norfolk, her estate in Norfolk. When you come for the holiday dinner, you have to step on a set of antique scales, be weighed, and then you eat dinner full of all the turkey and trimmings and everything else. And then you get weighed again when you're done. And they want to make sure you're, quote, being well fed. It's a tradition, and everyone has to do it in the royal line, or if you're a visitor at Sandringham for the holiday dinner. So Kate Middleton is getting weighed at Christmas. Like, I am now starting to wonder if this is why Meghan Markle left. Because
she did go to once, and she's like, "What is this? What's happening?"
I'm sorry, I don't know if I could even accept the fact that if I was ever invited to a royal dinner at Sandringham, to be weighed before and after I ate. I'm just not sure I could do it. Like, I want to go so bad. But like, I'm going to need more info. Like, okay, so here I pulled some quotes. It says, they do this because they think it makes sure that the guests are having a great time and being well fed. And no, thank you. It does not sound like a great time to me. Next, it says the tradition dates back to King Edward the 7th, his reign in the early 1900s, and applies to all members of the royal clan, as the festivities undeniably revolve around eating. The royal family first enjoy a turkey dinner with all the trimmings before indulging themselves in tea, complete with a, quote, gargantuan ice cake. And then you're going to weigh me again? You're going to weigh me when I get there and then when I get off. Like, I'm a little disappointed in this day and age that the Queen finds it necessary and thinks that this is okay.
Yeah.
If you get invited, are you going?
Yeah. Come on, I'm going.
I need to know who's going to be standing at the scales. Like, who's monitoring this? Are you jotting it down on a clipboard or something? Is William like behind me in line? Like, is he watching? Like, I see like football players when they're trying out and they have to come stand in line and get weighed, and then the coaches ask what position they are. You see it on movies and stuff, and all these guys come up and they're like, big guys and big muscles, and they're happy for their weight, and people are cheering and stuff. Like, but the people behind him can see what the scale says. Is there going to be a royal prince or king standing behind me looking at it? Or is there going to be a discreet footman that's going to say, like, okay, thank you very much. That was your weight. You can move on. Like,
and no one else knows. Yeah.
Right. Like, are you just
determine whether I get dessert?
Announce it? Like, is this a prize or winners or something? Because they want you to
dessert for Madame Jeanette.
like
I'm a guest.
Do you get a prize though? Like, I think they're wanting you to have. I think they want you to get weighed after you eat too, because then they want to make sure you've been well fed. They think it's like fun to see who ate the most of their fantastic food. So I don't know.
I'm going, but I'm a little like hoping this is not real. And
it's 100% real. And the person that reported on it actually had been a guest there back in 2018. I mean,
yeah,
I'm thinking
their foot on the scale. Like, come on now, I don't have that with that much.
I'm like, I'm picturing myself like walking up to these scales and being like, hold on a second, and like taking off my shoes, taking off my purse, taking off all my jewelry, taking off all that stuff, right?
I'm wearing a sheer summer dress in the middle of winter before we go up there.
Like, I mean, I need an extra 10 minutes, right, at the scale
no jewelry
to prepare myself.
I'm fasting the week before that.
Absolutely.
Still at Christmas.
I'm eating a cube of cheese for lunch each day, right? It's just, that's it. But yeah, and then, I'm thinking, I thought the better way to do this maybe was like, you maybe weigh everybody's plate of food, like weigh their food. And then if you get clean plate club, you win a prize or something like,
oh, you made a happy plate.
Yes.
The queen is delighted.
I am willing to bet you. I'm willing to bet you.
Why Megan left. This is 100% why Megan left.
This is 100% why Megan left. But okay, on a serious note, I have heard rumors when I started diving into this because I read it and I was like, I don't know. My queen would never do that, right? And then I started reading more and more, and then I'm finding out it's true and people are talking about it. There was one article, again, serious note here, that claimed this was an issue for Diana.
Oh, yeah, I can see that because she struggled with bulimia, right?
Correct. So, like, I don't know. It just seems like one really weird family game that people do in the holidays,
game. Yeah, this is the family shame game.
Right. Like
now when Uncle Charles pinches you on the cheeks and be like, "Oh, getting a little witty, are we?" Uncle Charles that I just was waiting before dinner.
It's because of Christmas dinner, damn it. I mean, these are also that type of family that's probably like, okay, we've all been weighed and we know who has the most food in their belly. Now we're all going to go for a jaunt out in the field to go hunting or something, like.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, again, now
is there pressure to eat the most food? Is there pressure to like gain a certain amount of weight at dinner?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like, is that they're weighing you first and then they weigh you a second time after you eat their delicious dinner. So, like, that's what I'm wondering, if there's a prize or like a medal or something to get a trophy. Like, biggest eater at Sandringham 2021.
Like? You get the scale.
It's the
biggest. To get the plate, the golden plate,
or it's a humpback whale on top.
If I start seeing pictures of their homes and they've got plates lined up everywhere, I'm going to think that's who won that year.
Okay, so here's the thing. We've got the Queen, Prince Charles, Camilla, William, Kate. Who's taking home the trophy this year out of those five?
Because he was going to be my guest.
Andrew's not included anymore at all.
Okay.
Andrew has to eat downstairs.
It's just the line of succession. Is that it? Or
well, this is just for me and my purposes. But when you attend Sandringham for Christmas dinner, everybody has to get weighed. If you are there, and everybody in the royal clan as well as the guests. But in ChickChat world, up on the podium, we've got the Queen, Charles, Camilla, Wills, and Kate. Who are you thinking
William.
takes home?
William.
You think?
He's the youngest. He's the most active. I could see him putting down a little bit more food than anybody else.
I'm going Camilla, just out of pure spite.
Okay. I go with that one too. I was going to say Camilla, but then I thought it'd be mean and I didn't want to get shaped.
No, I don't
If
think
we're
for
going
any
there.
other reason other than this is one thing she can do to really prove herself in this family. Like,
Mhm.
this is, hey, the queen thinks it's a great tradition. And if she can compete, then by God, take home that trophy. Because, I don't feel like there's a lot else that people love Camilla for. But winning at Sandringham, this might be her event.
Hey, okay.
I don't know. It's like I said, little disheartening to know that this is happening, but to each their
Will
own.
Harry and Meghan be going back for Christmas?
Doubt it.
Mm.
If they
Definitely
are,
not
they're
Jessica on a scale. She just had a baby. She's not playing that this year.
no. She's like, Harry, I'm not getting on the antique scales ever. So
The antique scale, like the picture in my head right now is like,
yes, I picture one of these things. My worst nightmare is picturing one of these things that looks like from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, when the goose is up there and it lays the egg and then it pops down and the little scale goes back and forth. And it's like good egg or bad egg. I'm picturing literally having to stand up on this like platform and the scale, like in the grocery store, like goes down really far and bounces and stuff.
Yeah.
And then everyone's watching and is like, oh, bravo, bravo. Like you made weight this year. Like, I don't know. Like, what do you, it just seems highly uncomfortable and really unroyal like.
yeah.
I don't know. Whatever. Don't weigh me in public.
We
Like,
won't,
come
we
on.
won't be adding that tradition to my family. We're not going to do that.
No, thank you. No, thank you. Okay. So, in a final thing here, I have our very favorite tradition of this or that. We haven't done it in a while. And these, I'm just going to say, are a little off the cuff. I did a little research. You ready to go? They're quick fire. Ready?
Let's do it.
Test the waters or dive into the deep end.
Test the waters.
I'm diving the deep end. Ketchup or ranch?
Ketchup.
I'm ranch. Damn it. Who are we? All right. Bad breath or body odor?
Oh, for me or somebody else?
Don't know.
I can't stand either one. I'm going to go bad breath right now, only because I can wear a mask.
Absolutely. I go bad breath as well, mainly because I feel like I can blame it on like what I just ate.
Yes.
Like body odors, that's tough. You got to have a build up for that, right?
It's got to stick with you all day. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Loud neighbors or nosy neighbors?
Loud. Well, wait a minute. There's something to be said about a nosy neighbor because you get all the gossip.
I go nosy. I'm nosy.
And they'll watch your property and you won't even have to worry about anybody. They're going to tell you who came to your house, what time. I'm going nosy. I'm changing my answer to nosy.
It's neighborhood watch. That's what we call it in our neighborhood. We've got some neighborhood watchers. All right. Be embarrassed or be afraid?
Be afraid.
Me too. Like, I'm afraid to step on the scale, but I can handle the afraid part. I don't want to be embarrassed stepping on the scale. All right. Attend a party or host a party?
Attend a party.
Same. Nothing stresses me the F out like hosting. While I enjoy it, I do enjoy it. I will 10 out of 10 go to a party before I host one.
Yeah.
Pattern or plain?
Plain.
Same. French fries or onion rings?
French fries.
I'm onion rings. Back to the bad breath thing. Brand name or generic?
I can do generic. I don't care.
Same. I enjoy generic. I take pride in the fact that when I find a good generic brand.
Yeah, yeah.
Art museum or history museum?
History.
Okay, I'm going art museum. Zombies or vampires?
Vampires.
Same. They always seem
I've
cuter
watched
in
The
the
Lost
movies.
Boys. I know what to do.
Exactly.
So cute.
Exactly. Free lunch or free dessert?
Free lunch.
Me too. Time machine or magic wand?
Time machine.
I'm going magic wand because I'm cheating the system. I'm doing the whole like, I'll use my magic wand to go back in time. Like that whole genie and 3 wishes, and my third wish is to have infinity of wishes. Yeah. No company or bad company?
Oh, no company.
Same. Totally fine. No company.
Yeah, don't need you.
No.
I enjoy if you're here, if you're good company, but
Yeah.
that I can do without.
Wash dishes immediately or wait until the sink is full?
I try to do it immediately. Doesn't always work, but
Mine get
I can't.
rinsed immediately and straight to the dishwasher.
yeah, I don't. Yeah, I guess that's what I mean. I don't wash a lot of dishes unless I need to use something like a pan or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's rinsed in the dishwasher.
Straight away. Yes. Painful truth or comforting lie?
Comforting or no, painful truth.
You can't combine them.
No, I said painful truth. Which
Okay.
one was it? Yeah, painful truth. Yeah.
I say painful truth as well. Absolutely. All right, William or Harry?
Harry.
Gosh, I know, and it's getting so tough these days. So tough.
No, it's not. It's still very easy.
But it's been tough. But I mean, I still go Harry. But you know, if Wills brings home the title this year of most weight gain, like I could support that as well. Like I could get behind that.
but
So
what we
maybe
need to know.
maybe I'm gonna need to see the results chart of like who came in where, and I can make a final decision. What a weird thing that is. I'm never gonna stop talking about it. All right, well, that's all I got for you today.
This was fun.
Yes, it's a nice little way to end the week. It's Friday. The show will be coming out next week. We'll spark up some buzz, give Paul Rudd some love, you know, tell the queen where to stick her scales, and then continue to jump into the holiday season without testing the waters. We're jumping straight in. You're invested now. I hope you have a great Thanksgiving, Jeanette.
Thank you. You too, Mary Margaret.
Thanks. I am thankful for you. I'm thankful for the Mesh, who is our fantastic podcast network provider. I love all the shows on the Mesh. Anybody that wants to check them out should go over to themesh.tv. I am thankful for Moose, our producer, who's been listening quietly and behaving himself. Even when I talk about going to the female doctor today. Appreciate that, Moose. And I'm thankful for everyone listening. So thank you so much. Happy Thanksgiving to those who are celebrating. And, you know, we'll be back right after Thanksgiving, hoping to do a little something special in December for everybody. So we'll stay tuned for that. Until then, Jeanette, take care. See you soon. All right, guys, take it easy, and we'll catch you on the flip side.